Welcome everybody back to Boost Motion, guys, and this is going to be my last review video of the Scramble event in Long Island, or Calverton, Long Island. Remember guys, tap in with my last couple videos. I took the Q60 and the C63 to an airstrip event, and I actually had a lot of fun in both cars. But in this video, I actually want to give you my final experience on actually going here the 2 different times, and honestly just give my honest opinion of the place. So let's go, let's jump into it. Now, I already made a video before talking about the first event, and in the second event I already kind of talked about that a little bit. I want to give you my final thoughts on the Calverton event, and will I be continue to going into it in the future. So let's jump into it. All right, quickly, Boost, will you be going to another one of their Scramble events? Yes, I will be going back to the events, and this is the reason why I'm going to be going back to the Scramble events. Compared to the other company out there that is renting out this airstrip, Scramble does a 3rd mile row race. Now, why is this important? Because I don't like 8th mile racing. 8th mile racing is good for like my Q60, but I'm only hitting imaginary fast speeds of like 95 miles an hour. I can do that on the highway. Now, that's why the other companies call a racetrack and not street, I get it. But if I want to do 8th mile races, I can do that on a private street where it's in Mexico and it's completely safe with no one around. I can do that any day. I'm not going to drive an hour and a half out from New York City just to go on an 8th mile track and only get 3 runs in. I'm not doing that. So I think that that's one of the best benefits of the Scramble event, because you get that 1/4 mile race. Now, also on top of that, for the more higher horsepower cars, or the cars that don't feel like doing digs, which also makes sense, there is something that no one else is giving you: a 3rd mile row race. This is super dope. The only other company that's the closest right now that offer a 3rd mile row race is the Pocono event race, held by a different company. I can't remember the name of their company, but that price is actually pretty steep to go to that event, even though it's a full-fledged road track. It's a lot more, it's almost double to 3 times as more expensive. But then also on top of that, I know there's more high tech and everything like this, but this still gives you just the feeling of being on the street or in the highway, because it's an airstrip. So I actually like the secludity of it. Also, I'm already in New York City, so I don't want to pay toll and drive 100 and something miles just to go somewhere, and honestly my car break. But if my car breaks an hour away in Long Island, I can tow it back really easy. Also, I have my friend's shop in All Out Motor Works that's in Long Island, so if something breaks, just tow it there. But in all seriousness, this is like the only company that's offering 3rd mile row racing on a sanctioned airstrip, and everything works pretty well. If you just want somewhere to go to take your car to do 3rd mile row racing, I think this is definitely a place to go. There's no other place that's offering this right now, especially for this price. Also on top of that, if they consistently come up with a couple of more events, this is something I would probably go and hang out to. Maybe if they did, I don't want to say that they did night racing, because it'd be kind of hard to see night racing because there's not enough lights out there. So probably keep it daytime. But 3rd mile row racing, I really love that part. That's why I keep bringing that up. I do like I did talk about it before, that they don't really look into tech that much, but me knowing other private events that do something similar to this, they just really want you to have helmet, honestly, for liability reasons, and they want you to sign a waiver, and that's pretty much it. So everything's up to you if you want to go mess up, or you want to hurt yourself, or you don't want to keep the maintenance up on your car. Now, I could think that's kind of a downfall for them, not having enough tech in for their cars, but I think that's all dependent on the type of guy that you are. If you do go to full NHRA racetracks, or do you want to go to something more private like the Scramble event. Now, me driving the Q60 at the event, I had a lot of good time. I didn't really want to do road racing, and they were really trying to get the track together. The second time around, it was a lot faster, a lot quicker. Now, I would say there was less cars this time around because it was rescheduled to the next week, and it was a little bit colder, but honestly, the turnover rate, let's get the cars in, was a lot better this time. I could have gotten about 5 races, and we started, because there was a delay of the fire truck, we didn't start racing until like 2 o'clock. And by the time it was 4 o'clock, I already got 3 races in. It was like 3:30 to be honest, like 3:30, so almost an hour and 45 minutes in, I already got 3 races in. And one of those races actually took I didn't even go back on the line. I actually got off the line to go and hang out with my boy a little bit, and then got back in the line. So I could have probably got 5 races in, maybe even 6. But I ended up leaving a little early. My boy had to go to work, and we headed back to New York City. So I do like that it was nice and quick and fast. I'm not saying it wasn't a small amount of people. There was a lot of people out there finishing cars. And that's what I want to also add too. There was a good amount of variation in cars. Now, I think this is one of the most important things if anyone makes this part of the video. With the other event that's held out at the same airport by the other company, I guess people come out to support, but because the price is about $20, $25 to go, people would take any car there, which is okay. If you love cars, you love cars. But some of them are not breaking the speed limit in an 1/8 mile track. So you're literally just adding more and more people, more and more fluff to the staging lanes, which honestly, as a person who loves cars as much as anyone else, you take away the driving experience and the driving fun because you have someone in a 4-cylinder non-turbo CVT car hitting an amazing mile an hour of 55 miles an hour in an 1/8 mile, or maybe even less than that. They do that on a highway. Not saying that you shouldn't take people's money, but think about it. If you have someone who has a 1,000 horsepower Hellcat, or a Lamborghini, or even a Q50, or a BMW, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna come out support, I wanna go check out the track, $25, but you have a bunch of, no disrespect to my 4-door Eco sedans, because I'm the same way, I love my Maximas, but you have someone up there that comes out with their car, and you're like, bro, like, you shouldn't be racing this at this track. You just add fluff. And the same thing happened to regular NHR tracks too. You get tired of that. Like, I get people come out there, they want to have their fun, have the good experience of whatever. You love cars, but it makes when you get in those lines with those regular cars, I'm talking about regular cars that's not breaking the speed limit in an 1/8 mile. You just add so much to the line that it's like, I want to use an example. It's like going into Popeyes, right? And I like my chicken tenders from Popeyes, right? And just imagine seeing a long line. You're like, oh my God, you get intimidated. You're like, do I really need to get Popeyes? But then you just, while waiting, you just see like a bunch of people just get off the line, just walk away. And when they're walking away, they're like, I don't even know why I was in here for chicken. I wanted beef, I wanted a burger. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't even eat chicken, I'm vegetarian. And you'll hear them, you're like, why was you in line? You're not even here for that. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like, oh, I just wanted to get Cajun fries. It's like, and then now you see the line getting shorter, now you're like, oh, okay, I'll wait. I'll pay the $15 for 5 piece from Popeyes because it's a shorter line. So that's the same thing I realized when it comes to the other company that does it. But with this company, even though it was a longer line, it was a lot better quality of cars, ranging from 4-cylinder turbo cars, it might be a 330i, to high-end Lamborghinis or twin turbo R8s, and even you have one stock F30 that was out there. There was a good differentiation of cars and people who like their cars. And even if their cars were an NA V6 or NA 4-cylinder, it was boosted, it was modified, so it gave a better feeling. So when you give that higher price to go somewhere, some people, not saying people who drive your cars don't have it, but they're like, am I gonna really spend $100, $150 to go down a racetrack in my Camry, and I have to go to work right after? No, they're not gonna do that. But if you told me, oh, it's only $20 to go race on this track, yeah, man, I'm gonna go around this bunch of these fast cars, blah blah blah. Like, people do it. So that's what I realized when it came to this event too, and I actually got to see that and experience that with the Scrambled event. And I was like, this is nice. There's a good amount of variation of cars, and they all decently high horsepower cars. And that's good. Even if you have a Civic that's only putting out 250, 300 wheel, it's still a boosted Civic, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's a good variation. That's another thing too. I think the entry cost is about $100, I think it was like about $100 to race, which is okay. If I'm getting 4 to 5 races in compared to a drag strip where I might be paying like $30, but I'm driving 150, 200 miles away to New Jersey, paying toll, gas, and all this, and somebody just blow, because with a regular track, right? There's the other problem with that is with a regular NHR track, people bring cars on trailers that they usually don't drive on the street, they're not inspected. So these are people's cars they built in their backyard, and things break and crack. Not saying you can't do that with your daily inspected car, but there's none of that also at this track. These cars are usually inspected and up to date. You know, some people may come on trailers because they don't want to drive their car there, but these cars are up to date and registered and actually could be driven. Even though some of them look real rat roddy, they can actually be driven. With other people's cars, when they have these shop cars, or not shop cars, these cars, I just call them rat rods, where they just build it and throw it together in their garage and just race them out there. Anything could happen. A fuel line could pop, oil line could pop, all that stuff could break. And then now on a regular track, you'll be stuck because it's track prep. They have to really clean the track. But with this, these cars are more up to date. They may have some modifications or modified severely, but they can be driven. But anyways, I want to bring a close to the video and I want to tell you guys about this. Shout out to Scramble Event. Also got to be part of the media team. My friend was doing some of the video. Didn't really do too much crazy. It was a little bit colder, but I appreciate Scramble Event for letting me get some other angles. So actually gets a little bit coverage. And hopefully the next event, your boy Boots will still be part of this, the media team, and we can get some different views and looks on it. Also, what I would add, I don't know if anyone from Scramble's watching or whatever, but I would add this part. I really do wish that they can add passengers. The only reason why I'm saying if you add passengers is have the passengers sign a waiver too. They also have to still wear a helmet, but it would give a different view of it. You know, because if people are allowed to rate, like at the end of the day, I have a camera that records from dash cam that records front, back, and side. But I think it would be a super dope feeling to also add a passenger in the car, and they also have a helmet. Of course, they wear a seatbelt, and that would be actually pretty cool too. But I get it for insurance purposes. It's like the driver signed a waiver to race, and if they crash, it was the person that's the passenger. You can also still sue the driver insurance for crashing, even though they signed a waiver to be at the racetrack. You see what I'm saying? So I understand the insurance purposes, but that would be super dope too, because I've seen that used at other tracks too, which is super dope. So outside of that, guys, shout out to Scramble. Much love to them. I'm definitely gonna be going to the events in the future, and I know they're probably watching, and maybe other companies watching. I'm probably never going to the other company's track event ever again, because the 8th mile is just too short, and unless you live out there and it's 10 minutes away, I get it. But for people who live in New York City that want to race track and not street, us driving an hour and a half to deal with that nonsense, and to have people who don't even want to race or can't break the speed limit in the 8th mile, it's not worth the wait. It's just not worth the wait. And I'll stick with Scramble for that. I will definitely take that drive out there for the 3rd mile racing and the 1/4 mile racing. Also, to finally add this up part, just for whoever made it to this part, in the Scramble event, you get the whole distance of the airfield from when the start line all the way to the end. There's plenty of space to break and come to a full-fledged stop. Plenty of space. And even in my C63, I would add it. I think I was with the Q60, I hit like 150. Right? So usually in a 1/4 mile, my Q60 would do like 120. I still kept going to the next set of cones, and I still hit 150 to the people I was racing with. So I was like, all right, and I still had plenty of time to slow down. I was never worried. The C63, I was doing road races from 40 miles an hour. I probably almost hit like 170, 165, 170. It came to a full, and still came slow down and still made the turn. So, which is a nice, huge, wide turn. So I like that, and my car is not even a really fast car. It's like mid 500 wheel. So I know faster cars will probably hit that speed a lot faster, of course, but then you'll have to still slow up. Those cars will probably be better at slowing down too compared to my C63. So I really like that compared to the other company. But anyways, outside of that, guys, you have a morning, good afternoon, night. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Thank you, Scramble. Appreciate you guys. Guys, hit the like button, please, 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 and thank you. I would love to do more of these events in the future. So guys, if you give me a like, that lets me know that you really want me to do these things. Hopefully Scramble will have some more events, and we will go check it out and see what other races we can get into. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. You have a good day. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boosted Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.